and things are now they are almost working the way we expect them to be working. Because in most cases nowadays, members of county assembly are also involved and informed on what is happening, especially during the issue of identifying the beneficiaries. What I would request, Madam Speaker, now this is our last budget we are coming up with. And I'm very sure one of the criteria that is used to give a child a bursary and deny the other one is whether the child has both the parents, whether they are well up, or the child doesn't have both parents. I know that is one of the criteria. Total orphan will get a will have an added advantage. Madam Speaker, there is one thing that I don't have an answer, and I think the honorable members can also assist me to get an answer. If we use that criteria to give child A a bursary this term, because he doesn't have a father, because he doesn't have a mother, we give that child bursary for term 1. Come to term 2, we don't give that child because we gave him last term. Does it mean now the fathers and the mother have risen from death? So, Madam Speaker, what I would urge the Assembly, the governor was here. He gave us an address and he requested us as an assembly to think critically. I remember the word used. To come up to the solutions that our people are facing, Madam Speaker. And on my side, I would propose, if we give a child term 1 because there is need, that need will reoccur come next term. And again, it will come back the third term. And if we gave that child when he was in Form 1, we give him for 1 year, and we don't give the child for the remaining years, it means now our resources have gone to waste. I would suggest, if we can come up with a plan to identify the most needy kids and bright kids. You can be needy, but even if we use resources on you, we don't expect something from you.
I would also wish to inform Mheshimiwa Wandawa, there is no child who is, you see?
Yeah.
You can do something for them, thinking critically, like you said.
Yes.
So every child is in need, but of course those who are bright and are invited to schools, like the national schools, we should take them so that they don't lose a chance.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. It's only that Mheshimiwa is somehow ahead of what I want to say. But just be patient. I complete, then after completing, maybe somebody else can undo what I've laid on the floor.
We want to undo what you are saying now, which is wrong, because there is no child which is useless.
Okay, thank you very much, Madam Speaker. I can frame my word again.
Point of information on the same point? Mheshimiwa Wandawa.
Yes,
Madam Speaker, let me inform the member that when he's talking about every term.
He didn't use useless, sorry. He did not use that terminology.
Let me inform the member that he's talking about giving a child every term bursary. Can I inform you that we only get bursary once in a year? So it is not possible to give child every term. He has got 3 terms. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you. The Honorable Helen.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I also want to inform the member that the regulation that the Education Committee came up with has got the best guidelines on identifying the needy children in your location or in your ward. So I'm not seeing how the member, the MCA within that ward would go against that regulation and give bursary to children who are not deserving.
Right, Honorable Ndawa, proceed.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. As I was saying here before, when we use these forms, which the county uses to identify the kids, the form will only give information, the name of the child, the name of the parent, the name of the school, the class that the child is, whether it's Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, and about the financial status of the parent. It is not provided for in that information. So if members sit in a boardroom and they have more than 1,000 forms to consider, there is likelihood of awarding a child a bursary whose parents are more stable and leave a child whose parents are poor.
Honorable Ndawa,
Yes, Madam Speaker.
that regulations which Honorable Helen is referring to came here on the floor of the House and you discussed it at length before you passed. So what she's saying and what the House would say is that there are regulations which guide the person giving bursaries as to how to identify the needy, the most needy, because the money is little and those are so many who want assistance. So there is a criteria. If that criteria is followed, the concern you are raising now would be addressed. That's what is being said by Honorable Helen.
Okay.
There is a law that guides the process, in other words.
Yes, thank you, Madam Speaker, and I would request if I can be given ample time to exhaust what I have, because my two people considered those who wanted to be elected as MCA and said Honorable Ndawa is the best placed person. And they have a lot of confidence in me.
Honorable Ndawa, where you are heading when you say that, you are being told the fact as it is. There is a regulation of this house which guides how to identify the needy students for bursaries. So those forms you're talking about should be prepared on the guidance of those regulations. That's what you're being told.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I do agree with that. But I would suggest the issue of public participation. Madam Speaker, that will work better than the issue of forms. And I know if there is a regulation can be also amended to solve
Honorable
a
Ndawa,
certain problem.
can you finish what you're saying?
Yes, yes.
Remember, there's a law that was passed by this House. And if you feel it's not sufficient, you bring a motion for amendment.
I will do that,
And
madam.
it also includes public participation aspect. If you read that law, maybe you haven't looked at it.
Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Please look at it.
Madam Speaker, I'm one of the authors of that regulation. And I know the contents of the public need the regulation. But what is said in that regulation is not exactly what is followed.
Thank you.
That is what I want to mean.
And that's what the members are saying.
Point number 2, Madam Speaker, we are coming up with the last budget for this house. Why don't we think of coming up with a budget which can cater for bursaries for the 3 terms? If we can say we allocate 240 million for bursaries, it means now each ward can have about 6 million. The 6 million, you can give 2 million term 1, 2 million term 2, and 2 million term 3. Then that will be assisting our kids. Madam Speaker, then the last thing I would suggest, when the devolution came and the issue of bursaries started, we cannot quantify. From the resources we have spent on bursaries, what can we show? What can we show? I was suggesting, even if we are considering everybody, each ward at least to come up with at least 10 names. Then those 10 names, we pick kids from Form 1, we go with them from Form 1, Form 2, Form 3, Form 4, so that we can claim this is a product of the bursaries we are giving. I think that will address. But if we are giving this term, we consider this person, next time we don't consider him, we take another person, at the end of the day, we will have nothing to show. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
That's very well said. Honorable Kingori, then we'll come to Honorable Angela, Honorable Masesi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I want to congratulate the team which came with the report. I also want to address an issue of accountability in this county. It seems that either we have incompetent leaders or we have leaders who don't understand the law should be followed, including our governor, because he is the head of this county and answerable to any wrongdoing on this county. I would concur that.
I wish Honorable Kingori you would paraphrase your statement. Let us be courteous as we submit on the floor of the House.
Yes, Madam Speaker.
If you are using disparaging remarks against a leader who is not here, it's not right. When you use strong terminologies like incompetence, that really is not proper.
Maybe I can rephrase it.
You should.
Yes, but now because I've just done it, and it can't be redone, I think you understand it, Madam Speaker.
What you do, you withdraw and put your statement in the best way possible. Remember, when you use such strong terminology against a member who is not here, and not even a member of the assembly to defend themselves, that is not proper. If you want to discuss somebody who is out here, you bring a motion, but we don't have that motion. You can talk of failure to implement, you can talk of, but the terminologies of incompetence.
Yeah, thank you, Madam Speaker. Yeah, I now get your point, Madam Speaker. I withdraw, but I want to put it this way then, that if we are not going to use what the law prescribed on our duties, it means something is wrong, Madam Speaker, in this county. And whereby, if our leaders are failing us, it is sad to know that when the audit of this or come to this House, and yet we agree on every issue, and the audit have seen so many loopholes, like the one we had when we just entered in 2018, the report which has said, it just touched even what we touched when we are impeaching the deputy governor.
Point of order, Madam Speaker.
Point of order.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think the honorable member for Modwani is not actually on what is on the floor of the House. He's telling us another stories. And maybe, Madam Speaker, we'll introduce Halcob law at the gating before we enter this chamber.
Honorable Majority Leader, don't read too much into people. Don't read too much into members' speeches. And I'm just looking at Standing Order 83 on content of speeches, how you should not bring, personal issues of personal conduct of the governor, of the speaker, or judge, or other public servants, if you don't have a motion. But Honorable Kingori corrected that. So what you do, Honorable Kingori, stick to the debate on the table. Stick to the debate on the table.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I think I have a right to reply to honorable member of Kenani, who think that Akobro worked in assembly. Can he bring a motion so that we can have that one on the gate, so that everybody can be checked, including him, Madam Speaker?
Can we proceed?
Because he must be drunk to see others drunk. Madam Speaker, we have never taken beer anytime loud.
Honorable Kingori, proceed with your contribution. It may be in the future if members you want, because we also have that which is checking temperature. So we can also have that one. But I don't see any member here who comes not being of sound mind. Can we proceed?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. On the issue of bursaries, I think Honorable Da is meeting this House when he says that we need even to adjust about public participation. It is there in the regulation, which we passed. About how we select people, it is there in the regulations. So I start to be collected, whether he understands the regulation itself or he is just speaking out of Bruce or out of nowhere, Madam Speaker.
Honorable Kingori, why today you are so much in love directing weapons to members? Why don't you just say that we have provision, public participation in that regulation? We have the criteria on how to select the needy students. Just that. And in any event, we finalized on that when Honorable Ndawa was contributing.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I start guided and I stop my case there, Madam Speaker.
All right. Thank you, Honorable Kingori. Thank you, Honorable Angela. Order, members. Order. Let's go on.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I would like to proceed to air my views about bursaries. My name is Angela Munyasia, nominated by the Wiper Democratic Movement. On bursaries, Madam Speaker, I have a suggestion, and I would like maybe the Honorable Chair to guide on this. I would like the honorable members in this House, members of County Assembly being the members that are directly in touch with the people, to liaise with the national government members of parliament, so that as members of parliament also issue their bursaries or their CDF bursaries, they need to liaise with the members of this assembly to ensure that the people on the ground are treated equally as they receive their bursaries. Because, Madam Speaker, my experience is that the members of National Assembly issue more CDF funds to the university students. The university students are needy, and I agree they are, but most of the members of National Assembly issue the CDF funds to university students who have an opportunity of applying for the Higher Education Loans Board. Those students get the funds from the Higher Education Loans Board, and they go ahead and get bursaries from the National Assembly in such a way that...
Point of information, Madam Speaker.
Point of information. Honorable Steve.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm Stephen Mwanthi. I would want to inform the Honorable Member and Sister that different members of National Assembly distribute their bursaries in their own different ways. Like, for example, you might find that from a certain constituency, that member of parliament only gives bursaries to the university and college students, while another sub-county or constituency, the MP also gives the secondary school students. Applying our case in Masinga, where the MP gives both secondary and universities. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
I think, thank you, Honorable Stephen Mwanthi. What Honorable Angela is saying, and it really makes sense. The Constitution provides for different levels of governance. Like here we are talking of the national government through the MP and the county government. And there are two aspects of bursaries from the two levels. And the Constitution recognizes the need for intergovernment consultations, so that what Mheshimiwa Ndawa brought up, the issue of paying for a needy bright student, or even for a needy student who is in a polytechnic or whatever, for just one term, and then you don't sustain that to the end. Really, it's a waste of public funds, like he said. But now we have the university students also who have help, and help is actually spreading even to colleges. So if there could be intergovernmental relations and cooperation between the MCAs and the MPs on the use of CDF, or bursaries, and the county bursaries, so that you can decide, do you here channel your bursaries only to those in polytechnics so that you sponsor them the full course? Do you channel them to secondary schools so that you sponsor them to full course? And the MP's bursary, which is higher, does it sponsor the needy university student, college student? And has that college student applied for help? It's about just talking together and agreeing. So that's sustainability. Remember, the funds are the same. They come from the government of Kenya, which has two levels, national government and county governments. So the need to really sit and, of course, agree is critical. Going forward, you will see it being addressed, even in a law. I can see it happening. It will be addressed so that there is proper use of the monies from the two levels.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for the intervention. I hope Honorable Mwandhi, my brother,
Now, you don't need to go
understands.
there, Mheshimiwa Angela.
Okay, thank you, Madam
Finished
Speaker.
with Mheshimiwa Stephen, long time.
Let's-
Yako sasa uendelee na kumaliza.
Wacha niendelee, Madam Speaker.
We are even going into Kiswahili.
Yeah, let us proceed, Honorable Speaker. I happen to have a lot of experience with the students in universities because we have the organization that sponsors them. So you realize that these university students, most of them on graduation, and it's from different constituencies. Members are lucky if in their constituencies they have a different scenario. But in most of the constituencies, you realize that by the time these students graduate from university, they have funds actually being refunded to them because they have applied for help and they have the CDF, and they could also have sponsors from non-government organization that also chips into their tuition. So you realize that these students take home hundreds of thousands at the completion of the fourth year. My problem is not with university students, Madam Speaker. My problem is with members of the county assembly liaising with the national government in such a way that we ensure that the students that get bursaries and support from the national government are the needy students, and that we also scrutinize their portals to ensure that their accounts are not overloaded, because that is how we got to realize that students are getting help and they're also getting sponsorship from other institutions and getting more funds than they actually need. Whereas the secondary school students who are the most needy in our communities, you find that most of them, and if you take statistics in your villages, you will realize that most students don't go to secondary school just because they simply don't afford. If you give a student 2,000 shillings, they've been admitted to Machakos girls. What are they supposed to do with 2,000 shillings? They can't even buy a box. It is not sustainable, and it is not possible for that student to join the secondary school. So, Honorable Speaker, I do agree with the new law that we should identify the needy students and ensure that they actually go to school, not just issuing bursaries because 2,000 students have applied and we are issuing bursaries to 2,000, where out of the 2,000, half of them will not be able to get an education because the funds that they have been offered are not enough. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Angela. Honorable Masesi.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Cosmas Masesi Matungulo, this representative of this Honorable House. Madam Speaker, first I would like to appreciate the Power Committee led by Honorable Musau. Madam Speaker, my concern is that we are now looking at a report of 2017-2018. Madam Speaker, when we are on our final year, it is assembly, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I wish that BBI could have gone through to address this issue of amounts which we get. Because, Madam Speaker, when you check at most of the sub-counties where the MPs have that freedom of getting to know how much they want to allocate to bursaries, a ward like sub-county like Matungulu. Madam Speaker, the MP sometimes gives 40 million, whereby, Madam Speaker, as a county, in our last, on this financial year, Madam Speaker, we got something close to 32 million shillings across the county, Madam Speaker. And when an honorable member is being given 800,000 shillings, Madam Speaker, you don't even know where to start and where to finish. Assuming, Madam Speaker, you have the scholars, 400, just give them 2,000. 800,000, Madam Speaker, is finished. You have not addressed the issue of colleges, neither the universities. Madam Speaker, I wish BBA could have gone through to give us the 5%, so that, Madam Speaker, having the 18 million, Madam Speaker, which we are looking at, equivalent, at least, Madam Speaker, you can budget for a 3 million bursary within your ward. Madam Speaker, this specific year we gave 122 million. How much did we get, Madam Speaker, on that financial year? The report is very clear that 70 million shillings, Madam Speaker, was requested from the Treasury, but not transferred to the bursary fund. Madam Speaker, I don't know how we'll come to address this issue in terms of implementation, because that's the problem with Machakos County. We are very good on papers, passing motions. Madam Speaker, we do pass budgets on good time. But, Madam Speaker, when it comes to implementation, this specific year, Madam Speaker, we had given each ward 3 million, but we only got 1 million, and that year was done. Madam Speaker, in future, I was wishing now the committee could have done a recommendation on what to be done on the officer who was on that office, Madam Speaker, by that year, 2017-18, Madam Speaker, just to make sure that there is accountability and openness and fairness when, Madam Speaker, we are giving these bursaries to our people. Otherwise, Madam Speaker, this is one of the departments where, Madam Speaker, we need to put a lot of emphasis on and make sure that our people get enough and at least some money which can push them to the next year. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Masesi. Honorable Kalumu Francis. Honorable Kalumu. Honorable Kalumu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker, for giving me a chance to contribute on this issue of audit queries on bursary fund. Madam Speaker, much has been said concerning the same, but I want to start with one word, which is a disclaimer opinion. According to the report, the disclaimer opinion says that the report cannot be relied on. And so that takes us to the ledgers and trial balances. And simple, a ledger is just a register which you record end transactions. And when there is inconsistency of the ledger, it means none of any transaction occurred. And that tells you that some of the transactions of the bursary fund were not registered in the ledger. When we come to trial balances are just records of all ledgers. And this shows that they were incomplete and lack of supporting ledgers. And even statement of trial balance is not followed. Statement of trial balance is not shown. So simply, according to the two documents, the ledger and trial balance simply shows that some of the transactions were not recorded. And that tells us that some money, if were not recorded, if they were paid, where were they recorded? If we come to the trial balances, Madam Speaker, you find that also, if the trial balance does not have the ledgers, that it tells you the money which was to be spent was not spent. According to the report again, Madam Speaker, it shows that the international standard of accounting were not followed. So generally, in accounting, we follow international standards of accounting, and if they are not applied, then that report cannot be relied on and cannot be termed as an audit. It cannot be termed as an audit. Statement of financial positions of the fund, some of them were inconsistent according to the report. Those are some of the things that I've just seen, and it means there is lack of accountability on the fund application, because all of the speakers who have spoken before have spoken about that we don't receive the money in full of what we approve in the budget, and that is true. It is shown by the report of the audit. So, Madam Speaker, there is no comparison provided. Madam Speaker, if you look at treasury transfers, you find that 248 million was transferred to the fund. And I want to tell the Assembly that there's difference between the Department of Education and the fund itself. Because a fund is built within the department. How is it applied? A fund is applied because it's supported by Public Finance Management Act, and it should follow the guideline that has been put. But if you look at it, you find that the fund has complication of application, because 122,248,000 was transferred from Treasury. But what can be seen is only 27. There is a variance of 95 million. Thereafter, they say that 70 million was not paid. 70 million, if you deduct the 70 million from 95, you find that also another one at 25. Because now IFMIS, according to the report, says that 70 million was processed but was not paid to the fund. So if 70 was not paid, then where is the balance of 25 million? So, Madam Speaker, there is a problem with accountability on the bursary fund. And so it needs to be looked very cleanly, and that shows that all the complaints that we have been complaining are true. Why, Madam Speaker? Because in the budget, most of the time we approve 120 million. That transforms to 3 million every financial year for each ward. But if you ask all the elected leaders in this county assembly, you find that most of the cases in all those financial years, you might be very lucky if we receive bursaries in a year. So, Madam Speaker, I don't know what we need. More than this, I highlight that some of the monies in our departments are not spent for the task that were being directed or approved for, and that gives us a sober mood because we might be asked in the future what was our work. Our work is oversight, and where there is reason to oversight, we do it, and when we ask a report like this one, Madam Speaker, we are told that we are fighting the government. But I want to say I'm not fighting anyone. I'm just doing my work. And that is what the people of Kilimani elected me for. So I want to stop there and say that, Madam Speaker, this report, according to the committee, observation and recommendations needs to be redone again and taken back to the Auditor General for a certificate of clean bill of health. Thank you.
Thank you, Honorable Francis Kalumu. Honorable Stephen Mundi.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. I'm Stephen Mande representing Ekalakale Katin Ward. Madam Speaker, I'm just applauding what honorable members have just said, but with a different view of this report. You see, Madam Speaker, you'll realize that much as we've been budgeting for some good amount for bursaries, like just members, what they've just said, that sometimes we allocate up to 120 million. And I think throughout we've been giving an average of 40 million. That is a million shillings per award. If you go as per that report, Madam Speaker, in that year 2017-2018, you will realize some of the requisitions, like it is in page 9, Madam Speaker, you will realize that there are some requisitions that were made on the 26th June of 2018. There is another one that is in number. Okay, on 26th June, that is number 4. For invoice number and education stroke or recurrent 6 bursaries, 26th of June 2018, and it is indicated that it was not paid. There is one thing that we also need to ask ourselves: where was it not paid? Is it from the COB, or it was not paid now to the fund? Because if you read number 1, you'll find that 25 million was processed in the IFMIS and was paid. Number 2, it was processed in the IFMIS and was paid. Now, our number 4, 5, you will find that what has been indicated there is that was processed but was not paid. Now I don't know whether it was processed up to IFMIS level and it's IFMIS that did not pay to county, or exactly what does it tell us. But at least you can tell if this man was being requisitioned on the 26th day of June, most probably this money did not do its intended purpose of giving our students this bursary. I want to believe these are some of the reasons why we have been giving or getting 40 million when we allocate 420 million. Much as we are talking, it's something that I was thinking when I raised on a point of information, Madam Speaker. I'm trying to imagine if this was June and it is a requisition that was being made for bursary. Maybe now on that one, you see, sometimes, Madam Speaker, let me just be honest on this one. We don't know exactly when we can get these monies. Sometimes it is just by the grace of God. So anytime when we hear that the bursaries are there, I don't think there is even time when we can go now to the MP's office to ask anything. There is no that time. It just comes like a luck, and so we have to run by that luck, at least to get the little that has been processed and maybe given. Madam Speaker, for example, in the next 1 month, I think by the month of August, for example, we'll be having our having our students reporting in Form 1, for example. And that year is ending on the month of March next year. So you can imagine if much as we are now speaking, whether we are going to get anything for those for the Form 1s. It's like we are going to miss that year, because we always get, if it happens, we get bursaries in the month of March every year. Are we already prepared with the little that we get now, at least to give the students some bursary for this year? Because the year, our now calendar year for this year will be ending July this month, meaning we'll have Form 1 candidates in the month of August. So it's something that, and now with this style of giving requisitioning bursaries in the month of June, Madam Speaker, it is a challenge. So what am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is we need a lot of competence in some of these offices. It is a serious thing. I've tried to think how best it can be applied. Yes, as assembly, sometimes we pass up to 120 million, which means that maybe if we get 40 million every term, that means we can give bursaries every term. That's as much more I was saying. But the question is it possible? Do we have that competent officers who can do those requisitions on time, so that we may go by that? To me, I think we've tried for the last 4 years and it has not been possible. It has not been possible to give bursaries the 3 terms. So these are some of the things that as an assembly we need to address and know possibly, and if I may be asked, because we have that committee, it should come with a comprehensive report as to why some of these things are not possible. No one will tell you after that money was processed, and maybe if Miss failed, according to the report from to this report, it shows that there was a problem with cash flow. What does that tell you? Maybe they were requisitioning money without that budget, most probably, or something like that. How are we prepared on such, Madam Speaker? How and when shall we have outer reports that are honest and clear? Because it's a report that, Madam Speaker, to me, I think, even according to the recommendations of the committee, is that let the officer give full report to Auditor General, and then the report be brought back. At least that can be accounted for. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Stephen Mwanthi. Mover of the motion, Honorable Musau, can you reply?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Honorable Joseph Wambua Musau, representing the great people of Biuni and the Chair Public Accounts and Investment Committee, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, one of the concerns of these dear members is the lateness of this report. Members, you shall appreciate that audit on itself is a process, it's not an event. And being a process, it starts with a letter of understanding sent to the audited entity and transmitting with the management of the auditee, audit queries raised and feedback sought, exit meeting, management letter is issued to auditor, draft audit report is issued to the auditee, final audit report issued, then their reporting to Parliament or the Assembly, the deliberation of the report as we are doing. Then, members, we shall appreciate that the lateness of this report is occasioned by almost every stakeholder in this process. One, if you turn with me page 13 of the report, page 13, there is that concern by the Auditor General on late submission of financial statement. It says, The fund financial statements were submitted for audit on 22nd February 2019. It goes on to say, this was 4 months later. So the lateness started there with the CEO. He submitted the statements very late, 4 months down the line. If you turn with me again on page 5, page 5. Despite late submission by the chief officer, the Office of Auditor General sat on the report for another, how many months? You see, the Assembly received the Auditor General report of the financial statement of Machakos County Bursary Fund for the year ended June 28th on 28th September. So the chief officer presented the statements in April 2019. Now, the auditors sat on the report for another 5 months. So the report is already 9 months late. From there, on 24th February 2020 is the date the committee could secure a date with the chief officer. So, critically, the first day the committee could do serious business for this audit report was 24th February 2020. All the other delay was occasioned by factors beyond the committee's ability. Members, it is good we understand what has been occasioning these delays in the PEC reports. And if that is the trend, expect them to be late as ever. Having sat with the chief officer on this 24th, there is the retreat, the report writing, then came the corona issues in March and April of this year, 2020. That's why we are here today. That is what has been occasioning most of the delays in the PAC reports. The process of audit itself, from the date the CEOs in different departments present their reports to the Auditor General, then the time the Auditor General takes the statutory date for presenting these reports is actually 90 days after 30th of June. So the latest they should be submitted is 30th of September. If they're not presented by that, already lateness has begun. So, dear members, it's also good we scrutinize how the process was done from day one up to this point we are presenting these reports. I would wish to appreciate my committee. This is one of the reports that you have acted the fastest they could. If it were not for the impacts of the COVID, this report could have come to this house the earliest we could. All the delay there before was occasioned by the CEO in presenting his papers and the Auditor General sitting on the report for 5 good months. Madam Speaker, I've heard the members. I want to concur with most of them. As the governor said, we must think critically. And my thinking, Mr. Speaker, the best solution for these bursary funds is the World Development Fund, where the MCA shall be the patron. If we compare ourselves with our brothers and sisters in the National Assembly, Madam Speaker, you shall realize we have very little that we can do to the bursaries. Very little. But the MPs have direct touch, have almost direct control on what should be done on these bursaries, Madam Speaker. I do agree with my counterparts and my colleagues here. The solution probably is in the BBI. When we shall have the World Fund. If the bursaries of the counties shall be controlled from other quarters, Madam Speaker, this debate shall be longer than the year today. There shall be a lot of dissatisfaction with the members. There shall be a lot of discontent with the members, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I would wish to thank these honorable members. This report was read a very long time ago, but yet it has remained dear to them. They have treasured it because bursaries are direct link between the member of Account Assembly and the Directorate, Madam Speaker. Thank you so much, members. Thank you so much, my members in the PAC committee. Thank you once again.
Thank you, Honorable. So, honorable members, I now put the question that this House discusses and approves the PAIC committee report on the financial statements of the Machakos County Bursary Fund for the year ended 30th June 2018. As many as are of the opinion say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. And just a quick one, honorable members, because my work is to guide you listening to what you have been saying on this issue of the bursary fund, which is really in the heart of all of you, as much as it is in the heart of the members of the public, because we know we have families that are very poor and their children really need education. A number of them have approached me, even though I am not having the privilege of sitting where you sit. They believe that I have a fund. In fact, they have come severally. They tell me, Madam Speaker, from your fund, can you pay fees for this and this? And actually, I've paid about 4 students. I tell them it's out of my pocket. I don't have a fund. Very bright students. So this is an issue that we need to address, and especially even in the budget that we are proposing. But again, proper and accountable use of that fund is very important, like it has come out on the debate we have. And there's the need also to strengthen your PAC and PEAK committee so that when they have these reports, then the writing is expedited. I know in the National Assembly, they have also strengthened the PAC committee because of the important role they play. And it's for you members to agree how to do that. But then now the issue of War Development Fund. Yes, that is very necessary. And I just want to let you know, members, that you don't have to wait for BBI. Yes, we are all hoping, personally on my behalf, I hope that it goes through because of the War Development Fund, among the other benefits to the county governments. But then I just want to throw the challenge to any one member here who feels that they can come up with a proposal that we revisit the War Development Fund we have for this assembly. You know, there is one that we found on the table by the first assembly. But then it has never been operationalized because the controller of budget felt that it had not been done in the right way. Now you have some light. You know the one which was defeated in the national level? If any of you is enterprising enough and can even come to my office, we can take that bill and we can customize it to use it for Machakos War Development Fund. And then we will demand that it be implemented by the governor. Nothing stops us from doing that. And I know a number of counties have done it. And they are actually getting, some of them even 40 million for war development. So it is, I'm throwing the challenge to you members so that you can have that under your name. And then we work very hard, because even this one you've been saying, we talked to the governor, we said 50 million, we said 10 million and so on. It is nowhere. I mean, you are not premising it on any law. So even if you can come up, we can take that challenge, and it's very easy, and it can be done very quickly. So that then now, even as we wait for BBI, we already have our law here. If BBI changes it for the better, so much the better. If as a national law comes and it changes this one, we will have been benefiting, and the bursaries you're talking about, the issue will be addressed. That's a challenge, honorable members, I'm throwing to you. Mr. Clerk, proceed, please.
Order number 12, motion, adjournment of the House.
Honorable members, under this order, we have one business by the Honorable Majority Leader, Mark Mwendo.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Speaker, that aware that the Second Assembly commenced its 50th session on 9th February 2021, pursuant to Standing Order number 24, noting that crucial business has been transacted during this session, including approval of the Machakos County Fiscal Strategy Paper 2021, Annual Development Plan 2020-2021, the Assembly House calendar, and the various committees' reports. Further, Honorable Speaker, aware that the Assembly received budget estimates for financial year 2021-2020 on 4th May 2021, pursuant to Standing Order number 206, Sabbatical 3, that say that upon being laid before the Assembly, the estimate shall be deemed to have been committed to the to the respective sectorial committee without question put, for each such a committee to deliberate upon according to their respective mandates. Madam Speaker, I inform that on that 1st May 2021, all the sectorial committees interrogated the said budget estimates together with the respective CECs and conducted public participation in sub-counties on 3rd and 4th June 2021. Madam Speaker, aware that the Assembly approved the amended Assembly calendar for the 50th session on 26th May 2021, and that the House should adjourn for short recess from Thursday, 10th June 2021, and resume on Monday, 21st June 2021. Honorable Speaker, I wish to move the motion that, pursuant to the Standing Order number 25, Sabbatical 4, the Assembly resolves to hold its adjournment date from Thursday, 10th June 2021 to today, Tuesday, 8th June 2021 at 2:30 p.m. to allow members to attend speakers' informal meeting, Kamukunji, on Tuesday afternoon, and interrogates sectoral committee reports on budget estimates for financial year 2021-2022 from Wednesday to Friday, and then proceed on short recess to resume on Monday, 21st June 2021, in accordance with the Assembly calendar for the 50th session amended on 26th May 2021. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mark Mwendo. Who will be seconding your motion?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Honorable Kamitu.
All right. Honorable Kamitu.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I stand to second the motion. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Minority Leader. Honorable members, I now propose the question that this House discusses and approves that pursuant to the Standing Order number 25, Suborder 4, the Assembly resolves to alter its adjournment date from Thursday, 10th June 2021 to today, Tuesday, 8th June 2021 at 2:30 p.m. to allow members attend speakers' informal meeting, Kamukunji, on Tuesday, 8th June 2021 at 2:30 p.m. and to interrogate sectoral committee reports on budget estimates for financial year 2020-2022 from Wednesday, 9th June 2021 to 11th to Friday 11th June 2021, and then to proceed on short recess to resume on Monday 21st June 2021 in accordance with the Assembly calendar for the 5th session amended on 26th May 2021. Honorable members, I invite you to debate the motion. Honorable Mita, sorry.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. First, I want to thank Honorable Majority and the entire House Business Committee team for coming up with this motion. Honorable Speaker, recently we held public participations across the county of Machakos, collecting opinion from residents, Honorable Speaker. And we are in the process of coming up with the budget for 2021-2022, Madam Speaker. And the law gives citizens priority for any government before they come up with ways of how to spend or else to do projects in the area, that they first listen to the residents or else to the public, Madam Speaker. And different groups or else departments in the county government of Machakos have different approach on how to spend monies in the entire county, Madam Speaker. And this will open an opportunity for us, honorable members, to ensure that whatever was collected in our areas of representation, Madam Speaker, whatever was picked from there is taken into consideration and given priority, Madam Speaker, as we embark on preparing the budget, Madam Speaker. I thank your office for granting us the 2 days, because 1 day would have been too little for us to ensure that everything is captured well, Madam Speaker. I also want to thank my colleagues for taking that opportunity with the weight it deserves, Madam Speaker. I want to thank them because across the county, the 2 days we were collecting views from Wananchi, they were committed and ensured that whatever they are being sent into this assembly to do is fully achieved, Madam Speaker. At this point also, Madam Speaker, I want to request the executive, Madam Speaker, to ensure whatever we'll pick as priority from the locals is what they implement, Madam Speaker, to avoid queries in the next public participations, Madam Speaker, because Mwananchi expects whatever we picked from them to be implemented in the budget, Madam Speaker. Again, Honorable Speaker, through your indulgence, I would request that after we are through with this process, again, Assembly organizes for a meeting with the executive, the chief officers, and the CECs, so that we harmonize whatever we'll come up with and what they anticipate to do, because it's good we pick the importance of the projects at this stage, Madam Speaker. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mita, Chief Whip. Okay, Honorable Masesi, do we have any member from the extended sitting who wants to contribute?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Once again, I want to appreciate the report by the Honorable Majority, and also thank God for bringing him back to this house, Madam Speaker, very strong and able to transact the business as the majority leader of this house. Madam Speaker, I want to appreciate that we'll be proceeding for that short recess. Though, Madam Speaker, my feeling is that after now the submission of the issues we picked from the public participation, which will be on Thursday and Friday, then, Madam Speaker, we are requesting that next week we retreat again and be taken through the budget, Madam Speaker, by the Budget Committee before it comes to this House. Madam Speaker, we want to get it right this time. Madam Speaker, having this budget as our last one, let there be no hurry. Let members be taken through the budget, Madam Speaker, before it is presented to the floor of the House. Madam Speaker, again, I would like to request the executive to agree with what the residents saw it right in terms of, Madam Speaker, requesting to move funds from some areas to the priority areas as per our residents, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, I'm very sure that, and I remember very well that most of on the two areas, Madam Speaker, I attended the public participation, members of our electorates thought that, Madam Speaker, the funds which have been set aside for the airstrip are not priority for us during this financial year. And, Madam Speaker, our people requested that those monies be moved to Health Department, others to Roads Department, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, we request the executive just to agree, because at the end of the day, we are guided by the public participation and by the proposals of our people. Otherwise, Madam Speaker, it is never too late. We can still get it right as honorable members and at least have something to show, Madam Speaker, when it comes to August 2022. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Musisi. Honorable Anastasia.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker. First, I want to appreciate the majority. Thank you. I want to appreciate our majority leader, and we thank God for his health he has given our majority. We understand he was in a situation whereby it was under Corona, so we thank God for that. Honorable Speaker, I want just to stand and support the motion as a member of House Business Committee. As a member has said, I understand this is the final budget for us. And I would like to wish if we can have the executive on board. And because I understand that, Honorable Speaker, the handshake is working in this assembly. Kindly allow me to request you to call our governor on board so that we can do some harmonization of this budget, because it is our request and prayers to come back 2022. And I think our leadership, it's working through your leadership. And I want to thank you in a special way that you come on board to bring us together to work as a team. And that's why Machakos County, we have something to show. And I understand the ground is really, as a development, even if there is some challenges of Corona, but we can show our public something, what has been done by executive. But we have still demanding more development with this budget for us to be in a safe side. So, Honorable Speaker, I want to concur with the Honorable Masesi. We don't need hurry to harmonize this budget and to interrogate. We want the executive, every department, to sit down with them one by one, so that we can have a chance to come back in this great house come 2022, and God wish. So, Honorable Speaker, kindly engage our governor and his executive so that we can have a retreat to do some agreement of this development in our wards, especially for honorable members who are elected. We request to sit down to see if there is a priority from Mwananchi, and request the executive to do so. Again, I would like to request the executive, let us, every department, remain with its own budget. But the issues of diverting money to another department, it is not favorable to us, especially for the elected members. So, Honorable Speaker, I kindly thank you in a special way, and I know you are able. Kindly. And I want to request you with a lot of humility. It is our proposal and a request to engage the executive to sit down somewhere without hurry, to talk as a team so that our people can see our unity and our people can see we are working as together for the benefits of Machakos people. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Now, Honorable Anastasia is giving me a very big burden. If I had that money, I would give it to all of you, and then you would go and work. But now, it's also a matter of political engagement, honorable members, kindly. So, now that Honorable Anastasia has put it on my doorstep, then I put it on the doorstep of where it rightly belongs. The Honorable Majority Leader and the Honorable Minority Leader, the political leadership, do seek that request which is being made by Honorable Anastasia. In my own way, obviously I would, but it starts with the political leadership in this House. And let me tell you, members, a budget is always a negotiated tool. I mean, because we all serve one people. You want to serve your people, see development on the ground, and the executive should be able to give that because we are serving the same people. So don't shy from asking for that interaction. It is actually as it should be. It is as it should be. So much as I also challenge the House leadership, if there's a way, and actually if there's a way I will put in words and ask that you need to sit down on one-on-one, because the importance of this budget to all of every member of this House, we don't need to keep on repeating. And then, of course, the importance to the public, they are waiting. So it's a matter that you should sit and agree and discuss. Right. I saw Honorable Mweni. Honorable Musa will come to you.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. I'm Bendeta Mweni Musyoka, nominated by Wiper. I support the report of going to the recess. It's preparing us for where we are going to land after this. Members, there is no difference between elected and nominated. I have for members to know that. That is very important. Because we are all going home the same time, and maybe we'll come back the same time. So, mine, I'm asking the leadership, because this is the last budget, to call the governor, Manjoliti and the Mheshimiwa Kamitu. They take us somewhere during the recess, this one, so that we can go and then discuss about the budget, which is very important, so that you can do something to your area. When you go home, you will be having people to stay with, because we have to go home. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Mweni. Honorable Musau.
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Once again, I'm Honorable Joseph Wambua Musau, representing the great people of Mbuyuni. Thank you for this opportunity. Madam Speaker, may I say that a house in a committee is a house in business. And creating time to have a committee of whole house retweeting, this shows how serious we are with this budget, with our work, Madam Speaker. It shall create ample time. It shall create enough time for this house to provide the best it can deliver to the Mwananchi, Madam Speaker. I do agree with honorable members that we need even more than that time, so that we may come with the best that shall be implemented for the next financial year. Madam Speaker, we shall have done our work. We shall have done our part. The ball is on court of the other side, Madam Speaker. To implement that we have sacrificed our time for, to implement it to the letter, to implement to the dot, Madam Speaker, so that Mwananchi may get what he or she deserves, Madam Speaker. Again, Madam Speaker, I do support the evening Kamkunji, Madam Speaker. I believe this county assembly is the engine. At being the engine, Madam Speaker, when in our dashboards, you see some lights. The fuel light is on, the oil light is on, is an indicator of something unwell in the engine, Madam Speaker. So I want to thank you at the HBC for providing time to see what is wrong in the engine, so that this engine may mobilize the whole vehicle. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Musau. Can I call upon the mover of the motion to reply, Honorable Mark Mwendo?
Thank you, Madam Speaker. Let me first thank the members for seeing the point of having this adjournment. Madam Speaker, budget is very important to us and also to the executive. The budget involves a lot, Madam Speaker, whereby you need to look whether the Mwananchi needs are catered for. Madam Speaker, I'll thank you for your leadership up to now, because when I talked to you about the 2 days, you had already known that it is important to have 2 days, not 1 day. What I will urge members is to be committed to look in this budget, Madam Speaker. Madam Speaker, the practice some of the countries they do, they normally go for a retreat, a quiet place, with their governor, their deputy governor, and all the CECs and the members of the assembly. Last week they were in Mombasa, governor sitting there with the members and the executive. Because what we have known in devolution, governor is the CEO, he makes a decision. He can move funds from here to there. But I think when you saw the report of the best performing counties, you saw, because of that transparency, it was number 3, that county. This time, Machakos was nowhere. Madam Speaker, yes, the last time, 2019, when we had the governor in Mombasa, and he allocated us the 10 million, that's the last time we saw some kind of minimum development. Because that time I did Amboho, I did 2 classes. Madam Speaker, this current financial year, we had to put 50 million, which you have not even seen a single cent. Although maybe some development is done selectively, but God is with us. There is always another time, and every donk has got its own day. Let me say, Madam Speaker, to me, I have nothing to congratulate, but I would like to urge members this time. It's too late. Too late. Darkness is just now at the corner. And let me tell you, Madam Speaker, I'm not cursing anybody. This house, because of the people who doesn't want to hear we move together, we will come a few. Take it to the bank. Because I know the areas. It is not, I know Gebauni, I know Tala, I know. There's nothing you can say comparing to other counties where you find the roads across county, the county we're neighboring. Roads are like here. Here we just do it. And the problem, Madam Speaker, it is when we allocate the money from Basel, 120 million, then we get 40. Where is the balance of 80 million every year, Madam Speaker? We members, we don't question that. When you question, you are fighting the government. That's real. We put 120 here on the floor of the house. We get 40. We don't question the 80. We keep on saying, oh, let us have good relationship. We had it, honorable members. And we said we are not going to fight. Because that time we were fighting, Honorable Speaker, there was outcry outside from our people telling us, why can't you work with the governor? Because the governor was all around saying they don't come to me. We went. Do we have development from that time, Honorable Committee? Therefore, Madam Speaker, I would like...
Honorable Majority Leader, address the Speaker.
Okay, thank you. I will withdraw.
Not a man.
So, Madam Speaker, he's my colleague, he knows what I'm talking about. I know it's Tala, he has a problem. So, Madam Speaker, I will hand this house, we take it serious tomorrow and Thursday. Then from that, as Honorable Anasadia said, we must look for the governor. If he wishes to come, we have no problem. We sit with the CECs again, Madam Speaker, again with the CECs. We hound it, how the budget is going to be implemented. And this one will take about 3-4 days, Madam Speaker. And this will help the county, because this is the only budget we have. Next year, some of us will be running with our pockets to see whether we can mend defenses, because most of the areas, they are not development. So, Madam Speaker, I think Anastasia talked, and you even directed as the Honorable Speaker, me and the minority. But sometimes you make a call, it is not received. So I also like Kamito, because next to the, near the government.
Who is Kamito?
Honorable Kamito. Don't do that effort, then he can involve me. Because I have an allergy when I call 5 times, you don't even return, you don't even write a letter. I normally delete the number. I don't put the number in my phone which you don't answer. So, Madam Speaker, thank you very much. I think the members, they have agreed that 2 days, and then from there now, we look for executive. Thank you, Madam Speaker.
Thank you, Honorable Majority Leader. Move out the motion. Honorable members, I now put the question that this House discusses and approves the pursuant to the Standing Order number 25-4, the Assembly resolves to alter its adjournment date from Tuesday, 10th June 2021 to today, Tuesday, 8th June 2021 at 2:30 p.m. to allow members to attend a speaker's informal meeting of Kamukunji on Tuesday, 8th June 2021 at 2:30 p.m. and to interrogate sectoral committee reports on budget estimates for financial year 2021-2022 from Wednesday, 9th June 2021 to Friday, 11th June 2021, and then proceed on short recess to resume on 21st June 2021 in accordance with the Assembly calendar for the 5th session amended on 26 May 2021. As many as are of the opinion say aye. As many as of the contrary opinion say nay. The ayes have it. Thank you. So, honorable members, there we have, the motion has passed and we shall be meeting at 2:30 at the Kamukunji. Have a good afternoon.